The glass shattered, spilling the bubbling liquid onto the lab bench, a faint plume of smoke rising. Percy Julian's heart pounded in his chest. Was this it? He stared at the mess on the table, a concoction that had once held so much promise. But as the smoke cleared, something glittered on the surface of the broken flask, something unmistakable. Julian leaned closer, hardly daring to believe what he saw. He had done it. After years of rejection and isolation, after countless failed experiments and sleepless nights, he had discovered the synthetic compound that would change medicine forever. Cortisone, the wonder drug that would save millions of lives. But this victory wasn't his alone. It was built on a lifetime of overcoming the impossible. Percy Julian was born in Montgomery, Alabama in 1899, at a time when even the idea of a black man in a laboratory seemed like an absurdity to most. The son of a railway clerk and a school teacher, he grew up in the shadow of Jim Crow, where segregation defined every facet of life. His parents, however, were firm believers in education, and Julian's own hunger for knowledge was insatiable, but the doors of opportunity were barred at every turn. Denied entry to most universities due to his race, Julian scraped together enough funds to attend DePauw University in Indiana. Even there, he faced endless discrimination. Forbidden from living in the dormitories, he slept in a boarding house attic and had to work odd jobs to pay for his tuition. He took every rejection as fuel for his determination, each insult as a reason to press harder. The turning point came during his senior year when Julian stumbled upon a groundbreaking idea in chemistry. His professor had presented the class with a challenge: how to synthesize the chemical physostigmine, a compound used to treat glaucoma. The difficulty was immense, and failure seemed all but certain. But something about the challenge captivated Julian. He spent every waking hour in the lab, working through lunch, skipping sleep, experimenting with mixtures and reactions no one else would have thought to try. Months passed, and still he couldn't find the answer. He was close, so close, but it eluded him like a phantom. Then, one night, in the dim light of the lab, inspiration struck. He recalled a series of forgotten notes from a long obscure German chemist. It was an obscure reference, dismissed by most as irrelevant, but Julian saw potential. He scribbled down a new formula and set to work. By morning, he had done it. Julian had successfully synthesized physostigmine, becoming one of the first chemists in the world to do so. His discovery was hailed as a triumph, a breakthrough in the treatment of glaucoma that would go on to help millions regain their sight. But for Percy Julian, it was more than just a scientific victory. It was proof that he belonged. He would go on to earn a PhD from the University of Vienna, one of the few institutions in the world that would accept a black scholar at the time. But even after this achievement, he returned to the United States to find that doors remained closed. Universities refused to hire him as a professor. Pharmaceutical companies turned him away. Time and again, he was reminded that no matter his brilliance, his skin color would always make him an outsider. Still, he pressed on. Julian became an industrial chemist working in private labs where he applied his expertise in organic chemistry to find practical solutions. It was in one such lab that he discovered how to synthesize progesterone, another critical hormone, from soybeans. This achievement revolutionized the field of medicine, lowering the cost of treatment for conditions ranging from hormonal imbalances to cancer. But his greatest discovery was yet to come. The medical world was desperate for a solution to arthritis, a debilitating disease that left millions in agony. Cortisone, a naturally occurring steroid, held the key to treatment, but it was prohibitively expensive. Julian knew the answer lay in chemistry, if only he could find a way to synthesize the hormone from a cheaper source. That's when the accident in the lab happened. Months of grueling research had led him to this moment. Julian stared at the tiny crystalline structure forming on the surface of the spilled solution. He had found the missing piece. Cortisone, in mass production, would be affordable. It would change everything. As the pieces of broken glass glittered around him, Percy Julian stood victorious once again. He had taken on the impossible and won. And through it all, Julian had proven one thing beyond a doubt: perseverance, more than any single discovery, was the greatest alchemy of all.